All right, this is moments ago from ESPN's Shams Charania. Draymond Green has agreed to return to the Golden State Warriors on a one-year, $27.7 million deal. Clutch Sports CEO Rich Paul tells ESPN the contract is the same that Green opted out of to give the Warriors flexibility to pursue LeBron James, and the sides land his return on Tuesday.
Congrats to Draymond, and I owe you a pop because you won.
Count the bucket.
Wow, E. I'll get that to you win tomorrow.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, no, but look, to me, this is what makes sense, and this is what we talked about yesterday. There was no reason to give Draymond Green, given the state of the franchise, given the state of the summer, given the state of his productivity and his age,
right.
There was no reason for either side, particularly the Warriors, to give him anything longer than what he was owed, which is $27.7. I think it's best for the Warriors. I think it's a good move by Dunleavy. He comes off the books at the end of the year, and then they can figure out where they want to go, and if Draymond Green wants to continue to concess in order for him to retire a Golden State Warrior.
Yeah, again, kudos to Dre and Clutch, because I don't believe you're worth 27, but this is horrific. I see trouble on the horizon if this thing gets off. The fact that he's on a one-year deal, and I know it's different than Kevin Durant, but this is Draymond is going to show his ass if things get funky, knowing that he's on one and done. I don't like it at all. But again, he's back. I expected that. But man, Evan, do you think I'm hating or I'm sipping haterade of if they get off or this season doesn't go as planned and he's looking at his Warrior future, and he probably knows now the fact that they only wanted to give him one and they stuck to that. I mean, man, my pride would be hurt too. It's like, read the room, Dre. This is probably it. Hopefully I'm wrong.
Draymond Green is back with the Golden State Warriors. Again, he opted out of his player option. He receives a one-year deal for the exact same amount of money as he would have been owed this upcoming season. This also added from ESPN's Anthony Slater, despite being eligible, there is not a no-trade clause in Draymond Green's one-year contract per source. So again, same as the player option that he gave up. For those that are wondering, he was eligible for a no-trade clause.
He can be moved.
He does not get one.
Wow.
He is still a contract that could be kept, that could be dealt, and that could finish out his career as a Warrior. And this is why I like the contract. I know some people, this is from the 650, saying too much money, 925, $27 million for someone who isn't that productive anymore.
He had the power to give himself that money. He just probably thought he was going to get another couple years. So he was getting that regardless.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Warriors are acting in good faith by giving him the same amount of money. I think that was important to them. But this puts the ball, just the way that Dunleavy described it at the end of the season, this is Draymond Green's choice. I think what they're saying with this contract is if Draymond Green wants to retire a Warrior, that's his choice. And it doesn't mean that we're just going to fork over $30 million a year every single year. It means every year we will reassess. We will reassess if Draymond Green is best for the franchise, if the Warriors are best for him, and we can continue to move forward. Because right now, the only person that, in my opinion, the Warriors have to prioritize being a one-jersey guy, that's Steph. And Draymond, if he wants to be, in which he's talked about being throughout his entire career, now we're going to get to see this year and beyond if his money is where his mouth is. Because if he throws a stink the way you talked about, we saw what happened with Klay Thompson. And Klay Thompson's not going to get to retire as a one-jersey guy, partially because of the way things eroded and an injury and life happened, but also because by the end of his time here, he did not want to be here.
But now what I'm so fascinated with, E, and it started, back when Draymond opted out, but man, I'm sitting here saying this one and done if it were to happen that way and the season went bad. But now I close my eyes and think about the possibility that Mike Dunleavy and Joe Lacob, if they decided and something was enticing to them, that it wouldn't have to be this. They could move Draymond Green at the deadline. Draymond couldn't do, so who's to say it's going to take a whole season? But I am fascinated that Draymond Green would opt out, because that signaled to me that he was going to get his way. Frank Sinatra, do it your way, in regard to have multiple years, but to come back and you're right, the Warriors played fair, the 27-5, but with no trade clause and that insurance of if something came down the Warriors' way, they could use you in a deal. I got to believe that's not how Rich and Draymond saw it happening.
No, but Draymond's going to be 36, 37 years old. Draymond Green he's accomplished everything. I think it was on the morning show they were talking about it. The best of Christian McCaffrey's career is behind him. The same applies to Draymond Green.
Oh, man, I didn't hear that, but okay, I hear you.
And it's look, you've been asking for that. I think it's interesting. You, of all people, and Signy too, you've been asking for the day that the Warriors finally stop giving Draymond everything he wants.
Go ahead.
Today's that day.
No doubt about it.
They gave him the last thing that he needed.
No doubt about it.
But they did not give him, I can guarantee you he wanted more than a one-year deal.
There's no doubt.
And he didn't get it.
No doubt. And the trade clause.
This is a big day for people that aren't happy with Draymond Green.
Now, what does this signal to you from Mike? You just kind of said it, but there's something else there too, E. Like, this is it, Michael Jackson? Like from the Warriors front office? Like,
no.
Because if you were, he's going to retire a Warrior and we do all that, skip down the road and throw daisies out and all that like you do at weddings, then why wouldn't this be multiple years on this deal?
Because they're
telling us something, and I think I hear it.
No, well, they are telling us something, and I think what they're telling us is that how Draymond wants to end his career is on him. If he's not going to be a good teammate, if he's not going to be an upstanding citizen, if he's not going to continue to help you on the court, well, then you're not going to retire a Warrior. But if you can do those things, if you can do the things that you've described yourself being capable of having the capacity to help usher in, maybe it's a Yaxel Lendeborg, to be a better mentor for some of these young guys, to do the things that, by the way, a lot of players at his age are required to do. The way that Andre Iguodala morphed into being more of a sage as opposed to a key contributor for a championship team. Those are the things that Draymond Green and all players who age into his area have to do at some point in their careers. And this is a contract that tells you the clock is ticking.
No doubt. And Evan, I'm blown away because, time flies, right? 4 years ago, we got 4 for a hundo. And now, you're on a one-year contract. And I feel like you have to do just what you talked about, and this is how I process what you just spoke about. Evan, you lightweight got to be on best behavior.
Yeah.
Like if something pops off, we don't got to wait so it finally has I feel like the power has shifted, and Mike and Joe drew their line in the sand that I thought they never would, to have Draymond Green come back on a one-year deal, which he could have done, but he didn't want to do. And I thought, why would he opt out? And I thought that was about LeBron, but I'm looking at you. Oh, you Pop. I'll give you two.
That's all right.
I am shocked.
I'm a cheap date.
That they played, I'll call it MLB hardball.
888-957-9570 is the number. Draymond Green is returning to the Golden State Warriors in a one-year, $27.7 million deal for Sham Sharani of ESPN. The contract is the same that Green opted out of to give the Warriors flexibility to go out and get LeBron. They did not. He gets essentially his player option back, and he will go into this season as an impending free agent. Let's go out down to Palo Alto and talk to Paul. Paul, how you doing, man? What's going on?
I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm doing a lot worse now than I was.
Look at Paul. Look at you. I mean, the Warriors, they showed some tough love, though, man.
I'm cool, Paul.
I mean, I'm glad that you guys are doing good. Yeah, I hear you, Goo. It's the 1 year is nice. I guess better than multiple years. The 27-7 really kind of it's not my money, so I don't really care. But it's as far as like a trade asset. When we hear last offseason, last trade deadline, calling people up, offering Dre and
Paul,
Butler and whomever.
You're kind of breaking up. Can you please call back? You're just kind of coming in a little choppy. Sorry about that, Paul. Again, 888-957-9570. The other detail added from Anthony Slater is that Draymond is not receiving a no-trade clause. We're going to talk about this and a few other subjects, both the Warriors and the Niners, with Ethan Sherwood-Strauss in about 20 minutes. So stick around for that. But, Goo, I understand where Paul, and I could kind of sense the sentiment. He's not happy because it's a lot of money. But as we've seen this summer, they weren't going to do anything with that money.
And it was money that he controlled.
It was already promised
until he opted out. Exactly. And I thought, that's why I was flabbergasted when he opted out. I couldn't understand, but Dre got his bread. But now everything's changed in regard to me. The Warriors telling him, you could be Calipari. You could be traded. I'm blown away in the sense that I know Rich Paul and Draymond Green do not like this deal. That we know, right? Especially with the no, you didn't get the no trade clause. Then that's a little power. I'm going to be here till I ain't here. But now that could pop off at any time.
Well, they may not like it, but then again, if you're Draymond Green, where else are you going to get $28 million?
Was there a Memphis out there that he infamously used, years ago?
That he did.
Man.
That he did. All right, let's go to Dale, who's in Hollister. Dale, what's going on, man? How you feeling?
Well, first, I'm feeling great, and except with the Draymond clause, I thought he should make $1 less than Steve Kerr so he knew where the boss was. But I understand them making a break even, but I really hope they put some behavior clauses in there because I truly believe players like KD and Giannis did not want to come here solely because Draymond is on this team. So I give all the kudos to Mike Dunleavy showing he's the boss, he's running things, and I just sure hope to God there's behavior clauses in there that could exempt the whole damn contract if he doesn't help the young players and if he punches somebody, anything like that.
Well, I don't know if there's behavior clauses, Dale, but he doesn't have a no trade clause. Like they can trade him at the deadline this upcoming year if it's not working out. So
and I had mentioned, Evan, I had mentioned that I gotta believe 27.5 is 27.5. So you got that, Dre. You had it. But now the way that you have it and what it signals and what you and Rich Paul obviously tried to do, the Warriors are sending a message. And now this also tells me I don't think there was a line around the corner for Draymond's services because I believe, Evan, had a team given him anything remotely close with more than 1 year deal, he would have took that over coming back to the Warriors on their terms, not his.
One, I also think it signals that the Warriors would rather pay all the money up front and have that come off the books than spread it out over 2 or maybe 3 years and have it be at a lower AAV.
Look at you.
I mean, this may be the start of the end for Draymond Green.
And do you have a problem with what I said earlier, getting more excited after this news and the way that this contract is structured about the books resetting and the possibility of having this money being able to use to enhance free agents, whatever you want to do when the books reset next year?
Well, it'll make you more flexible. One of the things that they've talked about, and you and Steiny have had conversations about ad nauseum, is the idea of 2027 when Steph comes off the books, when Jimmy Butler comes off the books, and now we have confirmation that Draymond Green and that 27.7, it will be off the books next summer.
I'm surprised, D. I thought he was getting 2 for $60. I said, if they could get up to that, he gets whatever he wants, and he did not get whatever he wanted here.
Well, and look, too, Draymond may retire a Warrior, but the thing is, it gives them some flexibility. The one thing the Warriors don't have a ton of, they don't have a ton of mid-level contracts. They have a couple of really big contracts, and they have a lot of really small contracts. So if you do want to upgrade this team, let's say at the deadline next year, and you do want to cash in some chips, an expiring deal like Draymond Green, as crazy as it sounds, that might be what another team is looking for. And again, I don't know if that's how they're approaching this season, but to me, it gives them the most flexibility to either help the team, to keep Draymond around, and to allow this to play out what it's been, which is organically. So, I think it's the best for both sides, to be honest. Again, Draymond Green signs a 1 year deal, $27.7 million, the money he was owed on his player option before opting out.